What is going on, guys? Before we start anything in this video, I want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of this video and being here. I appreciate it so much. And if you are here, hit that subscribe button. It costs absolutely no money. It is completely free, zero dinero, to hit the subscribe button, hit a thumbs up. And if you have any questions regarding this video that's pertinent, please comment it down below. Or if it's not pertinent, still comment it down below because I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear how you're doing. So let me know. But again, if you are here on this video and this helps you in any way, hit the subscribe button. It's 100% free and it changes my life. So thank you guys for being around. So as the title of this video says, you should be able to tell that we're going to be discussing today what scales to play, and specifically what scales to play over jazz harmony. Because a lot of times I know for me, as I was growing up and I heard teachers and professors and people and heroes that I looked up to, they would always be talking about things like Locrian and Lydian dominant and Phrygian dominant and all these scales that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I didn't know what they were talking about, and I had to look it up on YouTube, and there wasn't a lot of really good information out there that's right. So today we're going to be talking about 2-5-1s, how to navigate through them in jazz harmony. So the scales that we're going to be focusing on today are Dorian, Mixolydian, and Ionian. And Ionian is just a very fancy way of saying major, okay? So I'm going to be saying major because no one says Ionian, but just know that we're going to be referencing, when we're doing these scales, we're going to be referencing major, and we're going to be also referencing natural minor. So if you don't know those two, definitely take what I just played, slow it down, learn those two in all 12 keys because we're going to be referencing both of those for this video today. So if you've ever listened to jazz or if you've ever studied any jazz tunes, you know that there's a lot of things called 2-5 in all these tunes, okay? And what are 2-5-1s? Well, if you're in C major, okay, each of those notes can be corresponded to what we call a scale degree. Okay, so we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now those could all be related to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then also just a side note, as we continue to go up, these are what we call extensions. 9, 11, 13. Does that make sense? So as we go up, we call these extensions because these are notes that we play that are beyond the natural 1, 3, 5, 7 of the chords that we're building. So if you wanted to play a C major 7, 13 chord, you would add an A, but you wouldn't say C major 6 chord because we're talking about an extension that's outside, that goes beyond the fourth note in a major 7th chord, because major 7th chords are 1, 3, 5, 7, and anything beyond that we're going to add to that, we're going to call an extension. Okay, so if you want to add an A to your C major chord, what it's going to be is a C major 7 add 13, right? So a C major 7 13 chord. Or if you want to add a C major 7 13 add 9, we're not going to say 2, we're going to say 9 because it's an addition to the 4 notes that build that major 7th chord. Cool. So now that we have that established, let's look at a tune. So if you've never heard the tune, what is this thing called Love? This is the tune. And it goes. That's the whole tune. And so what's going on there is just a bunch of 2-5-1s, okay? So the first 2-5-1 is this, to F minor. And then the next 2-5-1 is to C major. But it's not this in terms of how we would think a regular 2-5-1 would operate. So a regular 2-5-1 to major would be minor 7 to dominant 7 to major 7, okay? But in this tune specifically, what they do is they do a minor 2-5, which would normally resolve to minor, a minor tonic, a minor root, a C minor, but instead they do it to C major, so they do. So it's this really cool thing of dark to light that they exemplify through this tune. But that's a topic for another video. What I wanted to show you guys through that tune is that it's just a bunch of 2-5-1s. 2-5-1, 2-5-1, 2-5-1, 2-5-1, 2-5-1. It's just a bunch of 2-5-1s in different orientations. And that is the whole basis for jazz harmony, is these 2-5 going to new keys. And that's why jazz is considered this thing that moves through keys and is different than pop harmony, because what it's doing is these 2-5-1s, you could think of them as bridges, okay? A 2-5 is a bridge to a new key center that we can call home. And so even though this tune starts in F minor, where it goes is to C major, right? 2-5-1 in F minor, and then a 2-5-1, another bridge to a new key, to a C major. So these 2-5s are really bridges that resolve to these new keys, to these new tonics. So what scales do we play over these chords? Well, let's look at just C major, okay? So now we're gonna throw out what is this thing called love. We're not gonna talk about it anymore. But if we just had a regular 2-5-1 to C major, what would the chords be? Well, the chords would be D minor 7 to G dominant 7 to C major 7. And generally speaking, when we're talking about 2-5-1s, whenever we're talking about the 5 chord, people tend to add 9s. So we're just gonna add that in the chord that I'm playing. And I recommend that if you're learning this for the first time, you learn your dominant 7 chord with a 9 on it, because this is an extension that is popularly used within all of jazz musicians and higher jazz musicians for sure. So what chord would we play over the 2? Well, what scale? We would play Dorian. Now, what is the difference between this minor 7 and a minor 7 that we would resolve to, like that F minor 7 and what is this thing called love? Well, the difference is, this is part of the bridge that's gonna lead us to the tonic. So it doesn't act as if we are in D minor, right? Because if we were in D minor, we would be playing D natural minor. We would be playing D minor, D natural minor, if we were in the key of D minor. But we're not in the key of D minor. We're trying to go to C major. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play what's called Dorian. And Dorian differs from natural minor in one note. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. This is the point that you need to remember. Natural 6, flat 7, 8. Okay? This note, this B, is the difference between it being natural minor and Dorian. So if you have a piece of paper, if you have a pen, write it down. These are the scale degrees for Dorian. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, flat 7, 8. Okay, so that's Dorian, okay? And so you can think about this like, we go to Mixolydian. So you can hear in these scales how they operate, right? Right? It led to that. So the first one is Dorian on the 2 chord. Number 2, Mixolydian. So over the dominant 7th chord, we need something that pulls to that major 7th. So generally, if we're talking about Dorian, right? Mixolydian. Mixolydian is this arpeggio, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. And something to note about this is, okay, well, I've played scales that have a major 3rd in it, which this does. This dominant 7/9 chord has a major 3rd in it. So isn't it just major Ionian, like a major scale? No, it's not. Why? Again, for the same reason that this isn't natural minor, this isn't major, because we're trying to go to C major. So what we're gonna do is it's gonna be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to play it slow. I'm a very fast speaker and I'm trying to do this in less than 11 minutes, so yeah. So this will be Mixolydian. And whenever you're learning this, learn the arpeggio with it and learn the scale. And learn it 2 octaves too, okay? So, and then that goes back to C major. So C major, just a C major scale. So listen to how it resolves and listen to the arpeggio because that's a very telling sign. You guys hear that? You hear how it's tension, tension, resolution. Resolution. Ah, we're home. So this is extremely important, and if you've never approached this before, definitely sit down and learn this in all 12 keys. Learn this. Learn Dorian, which is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, major 6, right? It's a natural 6. You don't flat it. Flat 7, 8. Learn that scale in all 12 keys. Learn the arpeggio for it. So 1, 3, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, right? Learn that arpeggio in all 12 keys. Then learn Mixolydian, which is over the 5 chord. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, right? Learn that arpeggio and its scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. And then learn Ionian, the major scale too, so that you know all 3 of them. So I hope that helped. And if you have any questions regarding this, leave a comment down below. And you can check out my music on Spotify and Apple Music at Future Self. My Instagram is futureself.official. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Again, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.